Good morning. Today is Thursday, October 28th, and it is a white day. A reminder that there will be no classes tomorrow due to the Meet the Teacher conferences, or Monday, as it is a headmaster's holiday. Tuesday, November 2nd, will be a green day. Yesterday, Dr. Howell and Mr. Reed announced the CTE students of the quarter. If your name was read, please meet Mr. Legge on the Fuller Hall steps at 8:20 a.m. this morning. Advisors, please release these students at 8:15 to have their photo taken. Attention international students wanting to take the November 13th TOEFL. The registration deadline is today. Please see Mrs. McCaffrey in the guidance office to register or with any questions. Calling all college-bound Hilltoppers. The following colleges have visits today: Virginia Polytech Institute and State University at 12:30 p.m. in Colby Conference Room, Springfield College at 1:30 p.m. in Colby Conference Room, Regis College at 2 p.m. in Colby Conference Room. Be sure to sign up for their visits on Naviance and to view all details. If you are scheduled to be in the class during the time of the visit, please check in with your teacher before coming to the college visit. You are also required to return to class after the completion of the visit. Attendance is turned in to the main office. Seniors, did you miss last evening's application night? Do you have a November 1st deadline? The weekend is quickly approaching. Do not wait until Monday. Stop in to see your guidance counselor today. There will be a Vermont Army National Guard recruiter on campus tomorrow for any student interested. Friendly reminder, the College and Armed Forces recruiter campus visits are only for our seniors and juniors. The following colleges will have virtual visits tomorrow: Stevens Institute of Technology. Writer's Block, Knitting Club, and the Discussion and Debate Club will all not meet today due to family conferences. See you next week. While fall sports charge ahead through playoffs, the girls' basketball program would like to offer an opportunity to get a head start on the winter sports season by meeting all interested new players and welcoming back our returning players. We will hold an informational meeting today at 3:40 in the gym. This meeting will be brief and open to anyone interested in learning more about open gym times that will start November 2nd. Fall athletes competing in the playoffs can come to the meeting to check in with Coach Huntington, then head to practices. We are looking forward to seeing all girls who may be interested in playing basketball today at 3:40 in the main gym. Catamount's first performance of this season at Fuller Hall is Shake and Holla on November 2nd. For all KCP Presents Performing Arts Series shows, students go for free, and faculty and staff can go for as little as $5 by utilizing SJA's $10 off coupon, 10 off SJA, at checkout. Learn more at catamountarts.org. Attention all students. I don't know if you've heard, but the rumor is our campus is haunted. As you walk the hallways and sit in your classrooms, keep your eyes peeled for our little surprises our Hilltopper spirits have left behind. The word is that eyeballs, little skeletons, sparkly skulls, Halloween pencils, mini writing pads, purple bats, and glittery pumpkins are hidden all over campus. Find the tricks and bring them to the dean's offices located in Colby and Streeter to trade for treats. Happy hunting and good luck. Happy birthday today to Desmond Audette. Happy birthday tomorrow to Cole Carter and Winter Hill Barnes. On Saturday to Kevin Freeman, and on Monday to Georgia Stevenson. Happy birthdays. Tomorrow we have varsity boys football quarterfinal game at Essex at 7 and cheerleading at Essex at 7. And on Saturday we have boys and girls cross country state championship at Thetford at 9. Good luck and have a great day.
Thank you, Ashley. And also a special thank you to our admissions and advancement team as they did our virtual welcome to those that are looking to join us next year. Spent some time with that last night, so special thank you to them as well. Some late announcements for you. Good morning, class of 2023. The votes for our junior class officers are and open student government representative positions have been cast and counted. Congratulations to 2023's juniors year officers: Secretary Rory Higgs, Treasurer Olivia Blanchard, Vice President Eric Chen, and President Nathan Lenzini. Congratulations to them. In addition to our officers this year, we had 4 student government representative seats opens. Congratulations on the winning those seats goes to Genevieve Hatch, Olivia Blanchard, Ruby Rolfe, and James Wong. Congratulations. And thank you to all the candidates for your energy, your effort, and desire to help the class and the community. And thank you to the large number of you who took the time to vote. As always, 2023 rocks. From Mr. Reed. Yesterday in sports action, the varsity boys soccer team lost to Colchester 3-2. The varsity girls soccer team lost to Mount Mansfield 1-0. But congratulations to the varsity field hockey team who beat Middlebury 6-1 in their playdown game. They will compete in the quarterfinals against Hartford on Saturday. So congratulations, field hockey. Okay, and so a couple different messages here for those of you who are on virtual, and then we'll go over to the gym to talk to the sophomores. But I wanted to share with you something that's been resonating with me today. I heard a saying once that never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So you've heard about and we experienced what a wonderful week that we had together last week in Spirit Week. The power of collective energy, the power of building something together, laughing together, cheering together, being one as something. We have built something here together, and we want to make sure that we embrace those moments and we embrace the good and all that comes from that kind of lift. And as a community, when you have a kind of lift like that, one thing that you need to guard against is a letdown from that embrace. As a community, sometimes the hard stuff starts to come as a result of that. And so today's reminder is that we have a collective responsibility to take care of each other on not only just our best days, but also on the days that we would consider not our best days. We have a responsibility as a community to respect one another, students and adults alike. Nobody here says that you have to love everyone that you encounter, but the idea that respect is collective and it's everybody's responsibility. We have a responsibility in a community to foster a sense of belonging, not for one, not for two, but for all. Not just on times of Spirit Week, but every day, every encounter, every face, every person, one at a time. We all have a responsibility to create the atmosphere where we can continue to learn and grow, but also to fail and to fall on our face and to recognize that those same people that are working so hard to build us up are going to continue to be those people that build you up. We all have a responsibility to one another to make sure that we build with care. In my time here over the last 23 years, respect and love for the people, the place, and the community has always been central to who we are and what we do. And I believe that we can continue to make that happen. But I also believe that we can continue to do a little bit better by one another based on some of the things that we're starting to see. All of us need to check our fuses sometimes when we're short. All of us need to first seek to understand what's happening in a given situation. And all of us need to continue to join together because accountability is something that we do and it's something that we expect. So for instance, things like cutting class, disrespecting your peers, your teachers, maybe not cleaning up after one another or cleaning up after yourself. Maybe the use of our cell phone in the 10 minutes that we've allowed, but the continuation of it still happening in classes when teachers ask to take it away. Maybe moments when you're in your full class meetings in chapel. What does that look like? How engaged are you? Are you attentive to the people that are talking? Because it's not easy to get up in front of a podium, especially as a student, and address your class. How much are you giving them your attention? Sense of belonging is a day-to-day, it's a daily operation, it's something that we have, it's a gift. It's something that we have to cultivate and be with one to make it happen. So when adults are holding you accountable, students, it's because we know that you need boundaries. We all do. We also know that as adolescents, it's your job to test boundaries, right? That's who you are, it's what you do, and it's what we expect you to do on a daily basis. We ask you to push boundaries, but at the same time, it's never out of disrespect. And adults, I would say the same. We have a collective responsibility to know that teenagers are going to press boundaries and they're going to push them. We also have a collective responsibility to check ourselves and check our fuse and make sure that we're ready to engage in that conversation, one person at a time, one human at a time, one interaction at a time, because that's what good communities do. That's what it means to be one. We understand collectively that as humans, we all have bad days, right? Adults and students alike. So please, when you're entering a moment, I have a sign in my office that says, just breathe. I'm going to ask you all just to breathe as you lean into that moment, because it's going to be important that we do stay calm, especially when we're frustrated about something, adults and students alike. Students, the adults are here to support you, but we're also going to hold you accountable, so you need to know that, right? You need to understand that that's our job, right? To help you become the best versions of yourselves, especially in a time when things aren't easy. As humans, we're not always the best versions of ourselves, especially in a time of pandemic. But I want to be perfectly clear about this. Our experience is not all the same. We are all weathering this storm that's been created by the pandemic. But prior to the pandemic, the truth is that we all carry something with us every single day. We all have both tangible and intangible weight. We don't always know the storm that someone else is carrying. So if I take a boat as a metaphor in this storm that we call this pandemic, and now as we've entered this community together, some of us have had the lens with a view from the yacht. Others have been on the speedboat. Some of us are just adrift, sailing somewhere out on the ocean. Others of us are on a raft. And quite honestly, many of us are just holding on to the lifeboat. The storm that we have, the storm that we feel, the emotions that we feel day to day, every day, the emotions are real and they need to be acknowledged. But one thing that we can all do is know that we have emotions. But what we do to respond is a choice. It's a pause. It's a just breathe. Take that moment. Take that choice. If we want to continue to be the beautiful community that we have been, that we have always been, and we want to continue to build back day by day, step by step, face by face, then we're all going to need to collectively decide that we want to put our oars in the water together. Lots of times you can hear about that with great crew teams. So we can again find what they call the moment of swing. It's not going to be easy, but our oars need to be in the water together. We all want to be pulling in the same direction. We all want to be working to lift ourselves together. Advisors, teachers, deans, chairs, administrators, faculty, staff, all of us are in this together, so you need to hear that. So as we start to think about weather and some change over the course of this weekend, a couple of things. One, starting on Tuesday, the tent will likely be down so that we can prepare the grass in front of the library for the winter. What that means is this: as students in your C block classes, you'll be having lunch in your classes. Department chairs will be talking to departments about this and how we're going to work with coverage. Deans are going to be working with us to make sure that we have coverage. So we need to know that. Those of you who have free block on the C block, you have received multiple times an email from Ms. Haggerty about when you need to go to lunch and where you need to be as a result of it, because we don't have students eating in the dining hall right now. If you have a question about that because you have C block free, please stop in the Campus Life office. We have a list as to when you're supposed to have lunch and where you're supposed to be. If you don't want to come to the Campus Life office, please check your email because it's there. As a result of the storm, we're going to wait on the Halloween dance as long as we can. So tomorrow, please check your email. I know that we don't have school. We will send you a text message that says, please check your email for an update. We will make a call on that. It's supposed to be a very rainy Saturday night. So we won't be pushing that to Halloween because we know that our families have little ones that they're going to be taking care of. So please just pay attention to that in terms of the storm. When it comes to lunch, sorry, I just forgot to mention one thing. Teachers, it will be key for us that you send your students at the time in which they need to go to lunch, right? Their assigned time, so that we don't have backup in the dining hall spaces. So please check those times again, and we'll make sure that we update those for you as well. The message this morning is this: never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. I believe that we have thoughtful, engaged citizens here, so let's make sure that we have our oars in the water together and that we're all pulling in the same direction. We have a lineup of things for you this morning, and so first up in that lineup is the Harvest of the Month. So let's hear about the Harvest of the Month. Please welcome them up to stage.
You know what, Jasmine? This past Spirit Week was fun, but I really think that the classes could have picked better themes.
What do you think we should have chosen for a theme, Alan?
We should have done kale. It's the harvest of the month for October, and we could have vegified LI.
I'm not so sure how well that would have held up.
Kalify LI?
The name isn't the problem.
But think about all the possibilities. We could have had a float where we grew bundles of kale in rows, and we could have showed off all the different varieties, like dinosaur kale, or red Russian, or common kale, you know?
What's so much better about kale than the themes we had?
Well, for starters, it promotes vitamins A, C, and K instead of violence.
But what about the bonfire, or cheers, or songs, or hallways?
Well, I guess it's true that we couldn't have burned a bunch of kale, but we could have adapted our cheers and songs to fit the theme of kale, like kale to our alma mater, kale to St. J.A., you know, like that.
Okay. But a lot of people think it's just a boring vegetable.
Oh, what do you mean? Kale helps with blood clots, heart issues, and it's good for your skin. And you can make kale chips and stir fry, and you can even put it in smoothies. Plus, it grows 3 feet tall sometimes. You know any other vegetable that can do that?
Well, no, I guess kale is pretty cool. And it does help to protect your cells from cancerous radiation.
If you can just withstand the cold, like kale does, and make it through to see another summer, we'll Kalify LI in 2022.
Right.
Good morning, St. Johnsbury Academy community. I would just like to steal a couple moments to tell you about our newly elected senior class officers, and they are President Maddie Wilson, Vice President Silas Pearson, Treasurer Clara Andre, Secretary Maple Bottinelli, and senior representatives to the student government this year, added to several that are already practicing, is Hannah Angel and Maple Bottinelli. So if you see them around today, could you please give them a round of applause? I would like to now invite Mr. Roberts up to the podium to share something he'd like to tell us about.
Good morning. So I'm Mr. Roberts, and I'm up here today to recognize our student body, what they can do when they have an act of kindness like we did yesterday in my afternoon electrical class. For those of you who do not know, we go out in the afternoon and work in the community, usually electrically based projects, but sometimes we'll pick up community-based projects if they're small, just to help people out. Yesterday, I told somebody that we'd help winterize their porch for the winter, and that involved wrapping the porch with plastic and putting wooden slats on so it could be useful for her during the cold times. I did volunteer my students, knowing that they wouldn't object to a day on the bus and going out where it's nice, and they also kind of knew they may get snacks out of the deal. So yesterday we arrived on job site. The owner came out and she thanked us for showing up, and we got right to work, and my team of students did the job in no time, wrapped the porch. It looked great. We had pie and cake, which is always nice, and the owner had spoke to me about a zero-turn lawnmower that was in the garage, and she was hoping to get that on a trailer out back before winter so our parents could have a place to park. So at the end, just before we loaded up the bus, I looked at my watch and we had some time, and so I said to my students, what do you think? And one of them just said, yeah, I should be able to take this out of gear, we'll push it around back and we'll load it on the trailer and be on our way. So one of my students jumped into it, got underneath, tried to disengage, and we couldn't get it to move, so the tires were locked up. And the owner said, well, don't worry about it. It'll be okay, I'll find somebody to come get it started, and we'll fool around at a later date. And I just looked at my students and smiled, and I said, what do you think? And in no time, one of them said, you know what, let's just lug that out back. So keep in mind that this zero-turn lawnmower weighed several hundred pounds, probably close to 300 to 400 pounds, and in a matter of a couple minutes, my students were around that, they lifted it up, and they proceeded to carry that lawnmower over 100 feet around the back side of the garage and loaded it on a trailer. And the owner said several times, they're going to get hurt, they don't need to do this, and I just turned to her and said, no, they'll be fine. And I had a big grin on my face because I was so proud of those students that day, because they could have very easily got on the bus. We'd already done a really nice thing for somebody. We'd had our snacks, and they were really happy about that, but they chose to help. And then when that lawnmower wouldn't disengage, we could have still got on the bus and waited for somebody else, but there wasn't one student that wanted to do that. They wanted to help. So they just hopped into action and put it on that trailer. So on the ride back, I got all their attention on the bus, and I just pointed out to them how very proud I was of them that yesterday they were contributing to the community, they were compassionate, and it was extremely caring. So the other thing I also told them that, one little thing like that can brighten somebody's day, and they should get a lot out of that. So Ashton, Kaylin, Patrick, Emmett, Brady, Gabe, Wyatt, Dawson, Gavin, and Caden, you're all amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Mr. Roberts. What a wonderful and fantastic way and a good message to send us on our way with. So have a wonderful Thursday, have a great long weekend, and have a happy Halloween.